Yeah, welcome to the Naija Filmmaker, a podcast about Nigerian filmmakers, their films, and how we can build a diverse and functional industry. I'm your host, Select Got. On this episode, my guest is Fatimah Gimsay. She's a writer-director and has written for shows like Unbroken, Battleground, Hush, Enakhe, and Riona. We talk about how she started writing a film podcast called Sinful Sundays and life as an independent filmmaker directing in Nigeria. If you're a new listener, you're welcome and I hope you enjoy. Hi, Fatima, you're welcome to the Naija Filmmaker.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Fatimah Binta Gimsay. I'm a writer and director working in Nollywood.
Okay, and how long have you been active in the industry?
Active for 6 years now. Yes.
Yeah, how has it been?
It's been interesting. My first year was primarily as an intern on set.
Yeah.
So I want to say it doesn't count, but it actually matters anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can you tell us, when this whole kind of interest in screenwriting, filmmaking started?
It was kind of a thing I found myself in, to be honest. I never actually thought I would ever in my life be a screenwriter.
Yeah.
Post uni, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Then I just decided to shoot my shots on a set, and that was really how it started.
Okay. And so you were an intern on set. What were you doing?
So I was a showrunner's intern
Okay.
primarily, so I didn't work directly on the set itself.
Yeah. So you're
But
mostly in the office?
yes, because at that period they were also writing, like they were doing workshops for writing. So I was also like a writer's assistant.
Okay.
So just really any convenient spots, they just put me in that, okay, here, learn, like pay attention, see what they're doing, and that kind of situation.
Okay. And would you say that, this year of, jumping around jobs like on sets, like how kind of pivotal was it in kind of giving you a sense of what different people did and, making your own choice?
Very, very important. Like I'm very grateful for it always. It was through Victor Sanchez Agawa,
Okay.
and it was because I had no clue on how anything worked. The basic things you also need along with talent, I had zero.
Yeah.
I was just blind. I was like, I have an idea. But this period, I worked with people that were like legends in writing. I saw how things were like systems were put in place and all of that. So I had time to also think if I really wanted to do this with my time.
Yeah.
Like, is this what I was really ready to go into? Because I also saw the risks and the benefits, and I was like, do I really want this? Yeah, I won't lie, it was very helpful.
Okay. So when did you eventually write your first script?
Yeah, it was December 2017.
And how daunting was that?
To be honest, I think I didn't realize how impactful it was until after.
Yeah.
Because in that moment it was just I just need to do something, because then I already spent like a year and some months like working with him in different like on different projects. So I'd already like started working as a production coordinator. I realized this is not my thing.
Yeah.
I was just testing different things. Okay, is writing I can do, but am I sure I can write? Because then I didn't like also know how to write a script.
Mm.
So I never knew I think seeing a script for the first time really blew me away because I had no idea. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, this is scary. Like I would just show myself that I'm not qualified. Then I started researching. Then I got plenty like links or like scripts to read.
Yeah.
Then the idea. And because of the documents I'd been given working as a writer's assistant, I've seen how they wrote like pitch documents.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I was just copying and pasting.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I'm going to do this format, put my idea there, and shoot my shot.
Yeah.
So I'm working on as like production. So I just told him, I was like, I think I'm ready to write. Then I now presented, I'm like, okay, this is my pitch. This is the story idea I have. And that was in like April, May,
Of 2018.
no, 2017.
Okay.
So by April, May, that's when I did. Then we had this back and forth, back and forth. Then by December 22nd, I sat down and just wrote. That's when I submitted like the final draft of the script. It was 3 episodes. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So 3B. So it was 3 episodes. I think 15 minutes. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So, starting from, writing flat, I think 3B,
Yeah.
you have you have moved on to Battleground, Riona, Dilemma, and Enakhe. So,
Yeah.
what happened in between that period and, you working on these African Magic productions?
So the first time I like when I was the showrunner's intern was on Hush.
Okay.
So that was my first taste of Africa Magic. January of 2018, I was put in the first Africa Magic writers room as a writer. And that was for Eve. Then that same year, that's when Battleground Showdown was being written. Like yeah, that's when they started like making plans for it. So I think it was May. They already had the workshop without me because I didn't even know. So I heard about the show. So I approached the head writer and he was my friend. So I was like, oh, I'm shooting my show. So if you have space for like an extra writer, an auxiliary writer, I can try. I've never written on a long episode show. So this can be something I can try out. And that's how it started.
Okay. So, how important do you think it is? Is it, learning how to write scripts perfectly? Is it about, you know, shooting your shot when you get the chance? Which one do you think is the most important for an aspiring writer?
I think you have to learn before shooting any shots.
You have been in these different writers' rooms, and you've met different sets of writers. Like during the whole workshopping process, ideas are being thrown around, um,
Mm.
and it can, I guess, it can get a bit busy. Everybody is throwing ideas around. For you as a writer, like, how do you approach it? In a way, you might have ideas wanting to, put it out there and all that, but maybe, based on how chaotic or busy the whole workshopping process is, like for you, how do you always ensure that, yeah, you kind of air your own opinions on things?
We always have turns to speak.
Okay.
So, and of course, those turns don't come like immediately, they don't come every time.
Yeah.
So it's starting of giving the chance to speak, take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because someone else, like you rightfully said, someone else can steal the thunder by giving a more exciting idea or something else. So there's this joke I always say, I'm like, oh, I'm here for the story.
Hmm.
So like you can give the most amazing pitch, but like it's not for this show or it's not for this story. So give us something else.
Yeah. You've worked with a lot of writers, recently, based on the Nigerian films that have been coming onto streaming platforms. Um, a lot of the Nigerian audience have kind of, expressed their displeasure with, the direction of Nigerian stories. For you, like, what were some of your thoughts, when you're seeing all the negative feedback from the Nigerian audience? Does that represent, the writers you work with?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I won't lie. I didn't see. Okay, half of me could see why people took it personal. To be fair, I understood where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But the half of me was like, bad films happen everywhere in the world.
Mm.
Like, industry has even Hollywood had it, like they had a thing for bad films called the Razzies, where they give awards for like worst film, worst actor. Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
So I think we're not used to that, to be honest. We think everything has to be perfect,
Mm.
or everything has to be so um what's the word, like blockbuster or box office like champion and all that
Yeah.
thing. We're not used to things just working out, which I think will adjust to. Like it's okay for a film to be bad. I know money has been spent, but nobody sets out to make a bad film also.
Yeah.
But a film being bad does not tarnish your future. Or because I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, the gatekeepers have closed the gates," and I was like, "What the hell does that even mean?"
Yeah.
Like, someone making a bad film is not of your business. Like, industry is huge.
Mm.
Storytelling is a very broad road. Like, one person messing up does not stop your destiny from shining or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very, I don't know, I had very mixed feelings to everything.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, I'll ask you to mention 3 random facts about you.
Oh, wow, 3.
Mm.
One random fact is I self-taught myself Spanish.
Okay. What level are you at right now?
Um, I'm back to starter because when I was hey, how old was I? God, I was 14.
Yeah.
I had plenty time then. I taught myself to almost fluent. Then school got busy. Then I forgot it for a while. Then I think last year I picked it up again and I realized, oh, I actually know some things. Like, you can just hear people talking in language and you're like, wait, I understood what you just said. So it's not like polished, but I'll still call myself a beginner, to be honest, before the guy tell me.
Yeah. Okay. So
Uh,
fact number 2.
Fact number 2. Okay. I love cooking.
Okay.
um,
What's your favorite thing to make?
that's the thing. I don't have anything. I just like cooking anything that feels good in the moment. Uh, 3. Oh yeah, number 3. I wanted to be a photojournalist.
Is it too late?
Um, right now I don't care for it, so it really depends.
And what happened that you didn't end up, pursuing that?
I didn't think it would work in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting 3 facts. So yeah, let's move on to you being a producer and director. So you executive produced Yasmin.
Yes. And Ijo, am I angry?
Yeah, and Dija. So let's talk about Yasmin. So for you, like with that short film, what did you want to, say with that?
Okay, so it was inspired by stories we hear of women who seek out help but find themselves in bigger trouble. And it was also tampering with the myth of I'm a good guy, and also the idea that nobody is like, because we messed with even with Yasmin herself, she's not a saint. But yeah, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, Ijo.
Yeah.
Um, it's about this married couple, and then you use this central theme of dance in the film. How did
Yeah.
you get like what gave you that idea to center it around dance?
Was I won't lie, it was really an idea to just challenge myself because the general idea was an argument that started with dance class, and I was like, why don't you just show the dance itself?
Hmm.
And even if, because I've seen some people say, oh, it doesn't tie to the story, I'm like, that's fine, just leave it the way it is. Like it's something we wanted to do for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like challenge with storytelling, like let's just pull it off.
Okay. And yeah, how has the general reception been for the film?
Um, People love it, apparently. I've seen a lot of positive. I won't lie, I've seen largely positive, like comments, messages, private messages.
Yeah.
Everything has been largely, it's been positive overall, to be honest.
Mm,
Happy about that.
yeah. At one point, did you decide that you wanted to, direct?
Was when I realized I couldn't stick to one thing,
Yeah.
and it was during the 2020 lockdown,
Okay.
where I was like, okay, I can't, like, I feel stuck. I want to try something new.
Apart from feeling stuck, like what else was, going through your mind during that lockdown as a creative?
I I was largely feeling stuck because I was working during the lockdown, but it was this thing of I feel all those fears you have start bubbling up even worse than usual.
Yeah.
All the any future here, is there any point doing this? Like, but the good side, to be honest, was realizing okay, at least this writing is the only stable thing right now.
Mm,
Because irony when you're looking for stability as a writer, then during the lockdown everybody cannot work, but you're the only one like writing scripts. And it was this thing of okay, it's not bad, I guess.
yeah.
But yeah,
Like what has been some challenges, being an independent filmmaker, trying to, put out stories, get stuff out there. What has been the biggest challenge?
promotion.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, because even like yesterday, I was telling someone how I feel I haven't pushed Ijo enough.
Yeah.
Like I feel it's I won't like I called it a flop, and I was like I haven't pushed it there enough. Like many like no, I want enough eyes on it. I want like I'm hungry for plenty eyes on it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like it's expensive to promote things.
Mm,
So I think a lot of indie filmmakers should always be prepared to spend money for marketing and PR.
yeah.
And the money we think we have to spend for it is never enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, one thing you can do, maybe once your Spanish is back to, fluency levels, maybe you can subtitle it and push it.
It's expensive to do everything right now when you're an indie filmmaker.
Mm,
And sometimes when there's pressure, when there's other things like pressing, you just really want to get it over and done with.
yeah.
And that's really my least favorite part when it comes to filmmaking. When you get to that point where you're like, I beg, let me just finish this thing and release.
Did you also like explore festivals?
Yes, we're still waiting for some because most of these festivals they start giving back feedback from like February and all that.
Okay.
Lagos Fringe Festival.
Yeah. It's green
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a good start. Yeah, something that the industry would benefit from is, more festivals.
Yes,
Um,
we need
yeah,
more.
scattered across the country, not just in Lagos.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, okay, so you have a company called Hello July.
Yes.
What does your company do?
Well, so far, like, it's been a production company for Yasmin and Joe.
Yeah.
Then we've also hosted and structured writing classes for writers that are interested. So
Oh,
we had two intensives last year.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a new company, so we're still crawling.
Mm-hmm. And then is this something like you wished you had when you started writing, or you had all the support you needed at that time?
Yeah, I had, to be fair, my major support came from Victor Sanchez Agawa
Yeah.
because he literally threw me into like groups of people introduced like so I had to do the rest of the work myself by networking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I wish we had more because
So,
I can't just own talk and think, oh, that's all. Like we're moving on
yeah.
because a lot of us don't have access. Everybody thinks everything is hidden and like tricky and all that stuff.
Okay. So was that one film or TV show that you always love to revisit?
Oh, it's always Gone Girl and Killing Eve.
Oh yeah, Gone Girl is one of my rewatchables. I just
Yeah.
like watched it last week. For you, what was most intriguing for you from Gone Girl?
Oh God, I will go into a speech because I love Gone Girl so much.
Yeah.
But okay, first, the book for me.
Okay, so you read the book before the film came out.
Yes.
Nice.
Books like when I was in my reading phases. One of those books I randomly just picked up at an airport.
Yeah.
And I was like, looks interesting. Then I like bought it. I read it on the plane. I was like reading it and I was like, okay, this is very intense. Then I forgot it for a while, to be honest. Then I watched the film. And I was like, what the hell? Like I had this, what the hell? I went back to read the book.
Yeah.
And I think reading the book made me fall in. Because when I watched the film the first time, I had very lukewarm reaction.
Yeah.
I was like, married couple wahala. Not really my thing. But when I read the book, I was like, oh my God, it's way more than marriage. Like, because the book is more detailed than the film. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love it. I have a thing for like well-written female villains, not just caricatures, not just, oh, she's angry because somebody duped her. I mean, somebody broke up with her, like stereotypes, but well-written, awful female villains.
Yeah.
Like they're allowed to be as awful as the guys because they exist in real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the beginning. I was like, okay, this is amazing.
Do you think Fincher did a good job?
Yes, because the author also wrote the script. Like when she adapted it, she wrote the script too, and it's
Yeah.
also one of the best written I've read. It's so easy to write and direct. Like even for the act, you can see this is a script that an actor will pick up and be so happy to like do the work on because it's so straight to the point. They don't use flowery language and do extra unnecessary lines. It's just this is a script for you to work with. Simple.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, you know what, like, how do you approach, you've worked in all these writers' rooms. How do you approach writing well-rounded characters?
Oh God, it's a struggle.
What's the hardest
But
part?
when you say well-rounded, what do you mean? I feel you need
Yeah, multi-dimensional. You talked about the female villains. Like, what made her special? What did the writer do?
I think one thing a lot of writers forget or lose, the disconnect is relatability. Like relatable characters, we forget that because we're going for shiny and like extravagant things. We forget relatable characters are the best characters. So when you have like Gone Girl, like for the film now, many people were like many women clicked a lot to the anger against like the cool girl monologue, the whole everything. And some people were arguing that, oh no, she's not a feminist. Most people are like, nobody ever called her a feminist.
Yeah.
We just really like her anger. Like that's what we're here for. We're not here for speeches and all that stuff. Then in the book, there are many moments that you can, like for me, I'm an only child.
Yeah.
It is awesome monologue about being an only child in the book that I even went to go and circle down. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I've never seen that portrayed in a book or anything before.
So it was very relatable.
Yeah. So even when I say like Killing Eve is a story about an assassin and no one chasing her.
Yeah.
And they still create characters that the basic person you're relating to a Russian assassin that is living a very flashy life. Like this clear on paper. But emotions wise, they pull you in with her backstory, her little like mannerisms, how she reacts to situations that the average woman in her mid-20s will do the same thing too, if she's in that situation. It's just relatability. Once you pull that in, you don't really need to, your character doesn't need to have like 5 quirks or pink hair or something that like they don't need to struggle to stand out.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't really need to stand out. They
You
just
can.
need to be really real.
Yeah. With your directing, like how is it going? How is that journey going? What are you finding?
I'm still scared. I'm
Well,
still very scared. Qualified
scared of what?
of like fully calling myself a director. I feel I don't qualify because I've not gone to any like film school for directing or anything. So I'm still a bit withdrawn. Like I even hesitated. That's why today I was like, okay, you know what, writer and director, because I have directed. Like it's not something I just say. I've
Yeah.
actually done it. But um there's this niggling feeling where you're like, are you really a director? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm trying to put myself out there for like more jobs as a director, even
Yeah.
if it's like, yeah, no job is little, but like things like maybe an episode of a series, another short film. Like I want to gradually build myself. Then I can start saying, yeah, blockbusters, here I come,
Uh-huh.
kind of situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like with the whole film school comment, I think for me, like, yeah, I went to film school. What film school does is just kind of gives you, industry standard, and it compresses that information, let's say, into 1 year. Um, when I was in film school, I had the opportunity of, directing a film, but I decided not to because, I kind of thought directing is that one thing that nobody can teach you. It's a culmination of your experiences, your instincts, what the script is saying, managing people, that kind of thing. So I think, yeah, just experience life, try to be a leader, and tell your stories, and you do all right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I guess maybe at this point are you still like trying to find your voice?
I think so. I think I have an idea of what my voice is.
Yeah. Or
I, I
maybe you need to do something several times before it becomes ingrained.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. What has been your happiest Nollywood moment so far? So something that happened that you were really happy that has to do with Nollywood.
Oh wow. Um, huh. When you say some like in general, like things that
Maybe
oh,
something that happened, for you, or for the industry. Maybe meaning you have more opportunities as you're an up and coming director.
I think one thing I've really been happy about is writers being more outspoken.
Yeah.
That's something I'm really proud of. Because we've been indoors complaining a lot, and now we are stepping out
Yeah.
our credits, like asking for more like respect.
Definitely.
That's something I'm really, really proud of. Because for I was even telling someone like I was joking that since January like 2nd, everybody has been doing spaces everywhere on Twitter. Everybody's talking about something, but it's good no matter how annoying it is.
Yeah.
People are putting themselves out there because nobody's going to do that for them.
Yeah.
Like obviously people are done waiting for the idols and the legends to pick them up and like put them up. I said that's something I'm really proud of and I really like it.
Yeah, definitely. Like it all starts from the script, and I think, yeah, the country, the audience, and also the industry, should respect writers more.
Yes.
Yeah. I with social media, when they're publicizing films, a lot of productions still omit the writers.
Of course,
Hopefully, yeah,
like 90%. You will see even the catering listing security name, but writers do not exist.
yeah. Hopefully, the industry does better in that regard.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Sinful Sundays. You have a
Oh, okay.
podcast.
Yes, I do.
I think one of the few, filmmaking related podcasts in Nigeria.
Yes,
Yeah. So
actually.
yeah, can you talk about it more? Why did you start it? and all.
I started it because I wanted to talk about filmmaking, and I realized we didn't have um like podcasts about Nollywood,
Yeah.
and I was like, then I realized, okay, maybe I can try since I have a few contacts. I can just do what like do something what I have, and that was really it.
Okay. So when should we expect it to come back? I think you're on a break right now.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Okay.
I've been told.
Okay, that's nice to hear.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
As a writer, director, creative, like what inspires you? What makes you, get up from your bed in the morning and, go out and do some work, whether it's writing or going on set? What's that thing that inspires you, that drives you?
Right now it's deadlines.
Deadlines. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
I think me too is deadlines because, yeah, I have to finish something this week, and that's the only
See?
thing that has motivated me.
Exactly. I wish it wasn't that way, but it's a circle we find ourselves in for a while
Yeah,
before we now get to use our like time and all that stuff. And
yeah.
fear of being broke, of course.
There's that one too.
Exactly.
So like Nollywood is growing, and um, we're becoming more exposed to the whole world. What do you think we need to focus on as an industry in order to improve the quality of our films in the international markets?
Okay, so you want to know like how we can improve in the industry.
Yeah, what you think the industry should prioritize?
Oh, we need to prioritize storytelling and writers.
Okay,
That's it.
what are they doing right now that they need to improve on?
Um, pay, paying writers, how they treat actors and even producers and directors, if they
Hmm.
give that same writers, a lot of things will be better. Like what we just said about like even an Instagram post giving writer credit for the job that the writer has done. Little thing. There's a time they had a spaces and someone really said, "Oh, a good story shouldn't be that expensive. Writers should not be calling for money." Like they think writers can just wake up and that that's the idea will just fall on their head, and that's not how it works.
Hmm.
So I think pay value as giving them their credits. That's another problem. This whole stealing story ideas or thinking because you give a note that automatically means it's a story idea is false.
Yeah.
So like stop trying to steal the thunder from writers. Stop trying to share credit. You can give yourself story credit or additional like just let the writer do their thing. Value, pay them well, credit. Honestly, if we start with these things to get better.
Yeah.
Because more people will work, they don't feel appreciated. Like after a while, they're like, I'm drained, I'm tired, I'm doing so much too money.
Okay, and how do you think writers can better collaborate with directors? Because there are times where some directors end up just taking the script and turning it upside down, and then there's also the side where writers are very like protective um of their creations, their scripts, and then any small
Yeah, but
change.
the protectiveness comes from not being protected in the first,
Yeah.
which I personally can't blame any writer for being extra protective about their ideas.
Hmm.
Because just wake up and be that protective. Things have happened.
Yeah.
Prove okay, like I can't trust anybody with my story. So people need to create that safety for them. That okay, showing me your script doesn't mean you'll see tomorrow morning in film one. I
Hmm.
mean film house because like you can share your script without me stealing it, but share your idea without me stealing it, those kind of things. So we need to create the safety first. Because most of the writers are extra protective. Their things have been stolen, they've been ripped off. So it comes from somewhere.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, what advice will you give aspiring writers, directors, creatives? What should they focus on at this early point in their careers?
Okay, so your talent is not everything. You need to put yourself out there, network. You need to be more social. Because I know a lot of writers have this annoying stereotype they copy from other writers.
Yeah.
When they think, oh, because I'm a writer, I'm going to be withdrawn, moody, like, be yourself. Like, there's no um handbook on a writer's personality. Your personality is not your what's the word? Professional currency.
Yeah.
Like, you need to separate yourself from your work. That's very important.
Yeah.
Like, because some people, because you write, that means you drink only dark coffee. Or I'm like, this is not that. Like, that is not how it works. Like, you also really need to separate yourself from your work. That's very important because I noticed that also on social media where a lot of writers can't go without constantly tweeting, talking about the work. Like, you have a life. Yeah, and storytelling comes from experiencing life. So if you have like an inferiority complex or a superiority complex where you think you're better than everybody else because you're a writer, it won't work like that. Like, it will not work like that.
Yeah.
You have to try and fight your insecurities, put yourself out there, enjoy the journey as much as it's hard to, but just try and enjoy every step of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what should we expect from Fatima and Hello July? What are you working on?
I have no idea. But like, we're just see, I won't lie, it's a new year.
Yeah.
So at this point, last year was hectic, making it was hectic, to be honest. So I'm just trying to slow down a bit and just, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, you can take a break and come up with more ways, to push Ijo out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, do you have a website, social media? How can people keep up?
Fatimah Gimsay on Instagram and Twitter.
So your handles is Fatimah Gimsay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Fatima, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Thank you.
Thanks.
We have come to the end of this episode. Remember to rate and review the podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Selego Film and the podcast at the Naija Film Pod to share your feedback. You can now support the podcast by visiting the website to donate. See you on the next episode. Have a good one.